Away from the city centres, where there is no consideration for financial gain and profit, something great, something good, something beautiful is being created. M.K. Roerich, 1905. Central Siberia. The southern part of the Krasnoyarsk region is where the mountains of the western Sayans are alive with mysterious taiga forest and untamed rivers. Where man can still freely drink pure mountain water and breathe the air with ease. The usual stains of progress and civilization seem far removed. Nature reveals its true majestic splendor. This rich land yields luscious berries, wild mushrooms, medicinal herbs, and a wealth of many as yet undiscovered gifts. There are a number of lakes in the region. The jewel is Tiberkul. Tiberkul is a word derived from the local dialect which means God's lake. The purity of its water and the beauty of its forest surrounds are truly breathtaking. Legend has it that here, long ago, lived the Aryans, the first people on the planet. Gradually, over time, the Aryans populated the earth, preordained to return to Siberia, to fulfill the design of the Almighty. Gradually, over time, the Aryans populated the earth, preordained to return to Siberia, to fulfill the design of the Almighty. The heart of the earth is thought to be situated right here in central Siberia and is considered the cause of the correspondingly strong currents of energy emanating from the area. These currents leave the earth and join the cosmic waves of the far distant and unknown stars. It is a unique dance in the universe. Founded in 1991, the followers of Vissarion, now inhabiting the southern Krasnoyarsk region, make up one of the more recent, non-traditional religious organizations in Russia. Vissarion suggested a new Jerusalem be built on the shores of Lake Tiberkul. The town, also known as the Town of the Sun, would represent an oasis of a new people living in harmony with nature and each other, a self-sufficient settlement of master craftsmen. There was considerable response to Vissarion's call from all over the former Soviet Union. Today, members of the church in Russia and abroad number in the tens of thousands. More than 3,000 people have relocated to the region. Figures show that the community is composed of 39.5% men and 60.5% women. The majority of people are aged between 30 and 50. 36% of the people have higher education, 33% have secondary education, and 31% have secondary trade and vocational education. 85% of all the settlers are of Russian origin. The remaining balance of 15% includes 34 nationalities, natural family units, sometimes spanning 3 generations, form the basis of the community. Children in the families of the new settlers number 830 under the age of 16. Statistical data shows that the community has grown at a rate 9 times higher than the Russian average as a result of a higher birth rate and lower mortality. The community is mostly vegetarian, therefore animal husbandry, hunting and fishing are not practiced. There is no ban on dairy products. Everyone chooses his own diet. Animal protein is not considered to be beneficial to the body's metabolism. Small numbers of cows, goats and sheep provide dairy products for young children and nursing mothers. Horses are bred for haulage and heavy works. They are seen as an environmentally friendly alternative to modes of transport which pollute the atmosphere. Sheep's wool and goat's hair provide the raw materials to make warm clothing for the long and cold Siberian winter. Daily activities include farm work and time on the family vegetable plot. Grown in the fields are rye, oats, buckwheat and potatoes, using minimal technology to preserve the soil structure. Hand planting is encouraged for wholesome crops as man's energy is being combined with Mother Nature's. Greenhouses are used to produce warmer climate vegetables such as tomatoes, sweet peppers, cucumbers and eggplant. Experienced gardeners use their ingenuity to grow atypical Siberian fruits. So here we are with grapes in Siberia. There is a special place in the heart of everyone when it comes to gathering foods from the forest, as the table is brightened and enriched in summer and winter, providing both nourishment and diversity. There are not only berries and mushrooms, but also wild onions, chirimsha with the taste of wild garlic, and edible paparatnik ferns, including orolac and ostrich feather. These ferns are rich with protein, complementing soya, cedar nuts and other protein plants which completely replace animal products. Interesting new dishes are coming to life from the simplest of ingredients, thanks to the skilled hands of the mistresses of the house. It can be said that a new culinary experience is being created, combining locally grown products with the gifts of the forest. Many new buildings and workshops are being constructed with an architecture unique to the Siberian environment and characteristic of the community's spiritual life. Today you can see new residences, bell towers, blessing houses and chapels, decorating and enlivening Siberian villages, and a new settlement in the mountains called the Abode of Dawn. Whilst wood is the primary building material at present, it is envisaged that as the master craftsmen learn more skills, natural stone sufficiently abundant in the mountain area will be used as well. The intention of the community is to create and live in harmony with the environment, so that over time the initial disturbance to the land will be healed. Nature and man will live in synergy. As part of this plan, the development of large cities is seen to be both unwarranted and ecologically unsound. 1,000 meters above sea level on Sukhaya Mountain, the town called the Abode of Dawn is being built. The circular site is designed for 120 residential plots accessed by 14 streets, which radiate from the circle center. In recent years, bell towers have been erected in some of the villages. The sound of the bells ringing has already become a part of everyday life. The expression of human creativity through arts and crafts is given a high priority. More and more people are turning away from their urban professions to learn fundamental skills. A former computer technician is now mastering rod weaving. A chauffeur is now a potter. A metallurgist is now a blacksmith. The abundance of wood as a construction material has allowed both men and women to learn the art of wood carving. Decorative carving adorns the interior and exterior of homes and civic buildings. At present, the community is still financially tied to the world economy. However, the master craftsmen work diligently developing their skills towards a time when they will be able to live untouched by the vagaries of the financial and energy markets. The goal is autonomous self-sufficiency. Community artists and painters periodically display their talents at exhibitions. Many who have never previously held a paintbrush are now learning to draw and paint, cultivating their imagination. The music of amateurs and many ex-professionals features prominently amongst the followers of Vissarion. Variety show performers, opera singers, classical musicians, teachers and composers live here, creating different music styles and new songs. Festival days consist of a full concert program, including collective dancing, uniting the hearts of all participants. For some years now, a monthly community newspaper has been printed, recording the full spectrum of community life. From time to time, supplements are produced, devoted to special creative achievements such as fairy tales, poems, verses, drawings and photographs. The settlers maintain the view that a harmonious relationship with the environment and fellow human beings ensures the health of mankind. Until this harmony is reached, of course disease is present and needs to be treated by qualified people. The treatment of the patient is determined by considering the physical symptoms of the disease, the state of the patient's inner world, and his or her attitude towards the illness. Vissarion's teaching is all-embracing and dynamic. It is not dogmatic. Physicians use techniques from Eastern and European medicine. Great attention is paid to medicinal herbs. In one of the villages there is a medical center. Specialists there encompass therapists, pediatricians, gynecologists, dentists, surgeons, and traditional folk healers. A man cannot harmoniously develop without a woman, and a woman without a man. The sacred keys to this relationship are love and children. The believer will never leave the family of his own free will after taking the responsibility for a partner, especially when there are children involved. Children are the future of any society, and here they are given special care. From birth, children are acclimatized to the natural, local conditions and bathed in cold water, strengthening their resistance. Community schools encourage a friendly approach between teacher and pupil and aim to remove aggressive behavior. Instead of receiving marks, the children are given special badges in the shape of the sun or flowers. The educational syllabus includes a basic knowledge of trades and crafts tailored to surviving in this beautiful but extreme environment. Boys are groomed to become master craftsmen and not warriors. Girls are groomed to be skilled and resourceful hostesses. Children's creativity is particularly emphasized, and parents try to develop the imagination of their children at every opportunity. Musical and literary works created by the community do not contain negative or destructive images. They seek rather to strengthen and support the good, so that children feel happy, comfortable, and healthy in their environment. A small group of creative writers and producers have come up with the idea of the magic box, which gives the community a social framework of activities. Concerts, theatre, comics, and children's stories are as much a part of this program as television and radio. Close links have been established with Russian and foreign artistic groups to promote the community work to the world. The most important part of this work is that the children are exposed to kind, creative and imaginative stories. Making a big, unique human family is one of the main tasks of the settlers. In many villages, groups are formed where all possessions and financial resources are pooled. People try to overcome the barriers of egoistic behavior, changing their inner self in the process of working together. New personal relationships are built, free from fear, envy, and greed. At evening meetings, moral and ethical questions arising from situations presented during the day are openly and eagerly discussed. This process helps all believers to understand the interaction and the lessons to be learnt. At the beginning of the 20th century, the German philosopher Oswald Spengler foresaw the birth of a new culture, which he called a Russian Siberian culture. He considered its power and uniqueness would be in its fresh new approach, integrating the traditions and customs of many nationalities who would settle in Siberia. And who knows, perhaps what Spengler foresaw is now coming to fruition.